After a dominant performance at the Surf Ranch, Gabe Medina has won 2 of the last 3 events and has taken the Jeep yellow jersey. Inching ahead of fellow countryman Felipe Toledo, he sits atop the Jeep leaderboard by less than 300 points. For the ladies, Carissa Moore's 3rd place finish in Lemoore has solidified her position on the Jeep leaderboard. But event winner Lakey Peterson just moved 2 spots up to number 2 and has asserted herself in the world title conversation. There are only 3 stops left in 2019. Who do you think's gonna win it all? Tell us in the comments below.
Man, feels amazing.
Gabriel Medina is back on top.
The Azores Airline Pro wrapped today in solid conditions in Praia de Santa Barbara. Portugal's Frederico Morais was unstoppable on finals day of the QS 6000 and walked away with the win over Australian Mitch Cruz. With this result, Frederico moved up 20 spots on the QS ranking and now sits number 10 in the world. Some things go hand in hand, like Jack Robinson and ultra slabby barrels. In between QS events, the West Oz local packed up his truck and headed north to catch a crazy swell and scored from sunup to sundown. Check out Volcom's YouTube page for the full clip.
I'm Gabriel Medina and you're watching WSL Surf Breaks.
The EDP Billabong Ericeira Pro QS 10,000 kicks off tomorrow in Portugal, and the forecast is looking solid with 6-foot-plus surf for the performance right-hand point. CT stars like Italo, Iago, Griff, and Cano are all scheduled to surf alongside newly crowned winner of the European QS title, Jorgen Kuzne. Fresh off his win in the Azores, local favorite Frederico Morais is on a heater and will be looking to keep the hometown crowd fired up. Keep it here all week for the best moments coming out of Portugal. Julian Wilson's been busy lately and just dropped 2 new edits on YouTube. Drive Fast and Take Chances features the highlights from a recent week Jules spent in Bali. And No Cigar is a fly-on-the-wall look at his 2018 world title run at the Pipe Masters. Watching Julian Wilson free surf is a dream. As one of the most progressive surfers on the planet, you know it's going to be the goods. And finally, a very happy birthday to our ageless Grom, Chris Cote, who turns 43 years young today. Big Wave Charger and champion paddler Jamie Mitchell recently completed his 7 Crossings project, where he paddled over 170 miles between California's 7 Channel Islands.
Yeah, the 7 Crossings project will basically become a documentary film. We've been working with the USC Wrigley Institute on Catalina, about sustainable food, water, energy and waste, and really raise awareness. Something like this that we're trying to do for the future generations is going to last forever. That's more important than catching a 60-foot wave.
Epic work, Jamie. Thanks for the inspiration.
The youth of the world are mobilizing for their largest global climate strikes ever. The next one is on September 27th. The strikes, which bookend the UN Climate Action Summit, are meant to push world leaders to commit to bolder actions for the planet. Youth around the world started this movement, but this time they're inviting adults to join them and support. To find out how and where to attend a climate strike near you, check out their website, globalclimatestrike.net.
Nathan Florence recently released a unique look at the flogging he suffered at the last big swell in Tahiti. Breaking down the wipeout, he shares what went wrong and how he responded.
Usually, Jobs is the absolute best facing, like the face of the barrel is as perfect as you'd ever want a barrel to be. If I had gone straight like I preach, I think I would have made the drop for sure.
Check out Nate's YouTube edit for all the nitty-gritty details.
We got an exclusive for you today on Surf Breaks. Three-time world champion Mick Fanning dropped by WSL HQ for his first on-camera interview since his knee injury in South Africa.
Yeah, it was crazy. I snapped it and it was just crazy pain. And the boys heard me like I was on the wave, and then I came in. By the time I got to the beach, no pain. I walked up the beach and the boys are like, "Oh, how is it?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was only in Africa for 24 hours, unfortunately, so I was pretty rattled. Got surgery 3 weeks ago and just a whole lot of rehab right now. I guess firstly, coming off tour, you do get lazy and you do avoid the gym, so you do get fat, which is cool. But then I was sort of starting to head down that path of putting a little bit more time back into the body and making sure that things were moving pretty good. As I started transitioning from competition, started thinking about the next step, I was lucky that Rip Curl wanted to send me on the search, and I got my little buddy Mason who comes along with me, and our goal is to try and surf new places and surf places that probably a little bit untouched. We're used to seeing guys, a lot of Aussies in the top 10, where this year it's been tough for them to get in there. You know, obviously Owen, that win in Tahiti was incredible. You know, Julian's had a tough start. Ryan Cullen back on tour is incredible, and you know, in all Aussie histories, we're not scared of a fight. So I know there's a lot of fight left in these guys.
Mick, you are the best. Thank you so much for taking the time here to drop some knowledge. Can't wait to see you back in the lineup soon. On finals day at the Freshwater Pro presented by Outerknown, we saw top CT talent displaying clutch moments of progression. From Julian Wilson's big varial to Lakey Peterson's event-winning reverse, the world's best blurred the line between free surfing and contest fundamentals. The upcoming Red Bull Airborne event in France will focus on progression and high-tech aerial surfing. The objective is simple: the biggest, best air seals the deal. So what's it gonna take to win this thing? Inverted 540, a big varial, or something brand new we've yet to see in competition? You tell us in the comments below. It's Climate Week all over the planet, and with an update, here's Dr. AYANA Elizabeth Johnson.
The need for ambitious climate action is urgent, so the United Nations called an emergency climate summit in New York on September 23rd. Global leaders were asked to bring concrete plans for how their nations would reduce carbon emissions by 45% over the next decade. The latest climate science shows we must take transformational action if we're going to have a chance at keeping the global average temperature increase to under 2 degrees Celsius.
The latest installment of the WSL Studios show, Soundwaves Mic'd Up, is live right now on WorldSurfLeague.com. This episode features Michel Barrez as he takes on the Tahiti Pro Chopo presented by Hurley.
It's so special to see all these kids. You know, they come from the surfing school from Papara, where I grew up too. So it's kind of like makes me realize the impact of surfing here in Tahiti. Yeah.
There are few surf zones in the world more idyllic than Bali, and who better to take us there than John Florence. The two-time world champ just dropped a new edit on his YouTube channel detailing his visit to the Corona Bali Protected. Set to the sounds of the Matson 2, this video brings us all along with his family and shaper to enjoy the ride. Meanwhile, John Florence is off exploring the far reaches of the Pacific Ocean, hopefully to make an eventual return to competition. Get well soon, John. We'll see you in the water. The United Nations just dropped a new report regarding ocean health, and the findings are quite revealing. Written by over 100 international experts, the report shows that rising temperatures are contributing to increased ocean acidity, declining fish populations, and rising sea levels. The effects of these ocean changes will impact the communities in many of the world's best surf destinations, so we all must educate ourselves. For solutions and how you can help, go to wslpure.org. upside down. Watch out, Griffin Colapinto. Upside down. Fact. The EDP Billabong Pro Ericeira has been absolutely firing. French powerhouse Jorgen Cousinet came through with the performance of the day, stacking a pair of 8s for a huge heat win. Frederico Morais and Miguel Pupo have continued their Euro leg hot streaks, while the event has seen its fair share of big knockouts, including CT stars Griffin Colapinto, Zeke Lau, and Jesse Mendez. This is the last big points grab on the QS before the season heads to Hawaii, so the pressure is on. Can't wait to see what happens next. Italian pro surfer Leo Fioravanti is making the most of his time bouncing back from an injury. Fioravanti just dropped in on an incredible Gucci fashion show in Milan. Man, Leo is looking good. To live the life of Leo. A guy can dream. Till then, Leo, get well soon. Can't wait to have you back on the championship tour.
Front again, clean form and flow right in the pocket. Into the pit, standing up tall with the spin.
You know, there's a reason that Carissa Moore is sitting on top of the Jeep leaderboard. And that reason, people, is consistency. With her eyes set on the 4th world title, she hasn't finished outside of the quarters all season. A big finish at the Roxy Pro in France carries all kinds of world title and Olympic implications. There's less than 10,000 points separating the top 5 women, so let's go.
Rides it out clean into the barrel that she loves so much on the end section. Flawless from Carissa, going for the punt, pins out.
As Climate Week continues, here's Dr. AYANA Elizabeth Johnson reporting from Brooklyn, New York.
The Pacific is experiencing a marine heat wave extending all the way from Hawaii to Alaska. This mass of extra warm water could drastically disrupt sea life and create harmful algae blooms. In 2014, there was a previous marine heat wave that was nicknamed the Blob. The impacts of this current marine heat wave depend on how long it lasts and how deep that warm water extends. While this could mean warmer water for surfers if it moves on shore, we shouldn't be stoked about it because it's super bad for the ocean and scientists really hope it dissipates quickly.
And who could forget the only 10-point ride of the women's 2018 season, Carissa Moore, Honolulu Bay.
Carissa Moore coming around the corner. Sweeping arc, right in the pocket, laid back power jam, right on the money. Wrist just drilling the lift out. Big full section shove.
When it comes to success in OCCY, the ability to adapt to ever-changing conditions is paramount. With massive tide swings and big fluctuations in swell size, the surf can literally change by the hour. From puntable wedges to heavy barrels, when the CT pulls into La Gravière, it better be ready for whatever the Atlantic has in store. Julian Wilson and Courtney Conlogue had the right stuff last year. Can they defend? The action kicks off at the Quicksilver Pro and Roxy Pro in France on October 3rd. Keep it here for updates. Everybody on the East Coast has been scoring, thanks Hurricane Umberto, including New York's Balaram Stack. He just made a strike down to Puerto Rico to take full advantage. Word on the street is Ball is working on a new film. Stay tuned. Former CT surfer Yaden Nichols' son, 7-year-old Kingsley, has been turning heads for years now, but nothing beats stomping that first air. Kingsley, that was sick.
WSL Tours and Competition has recently announced that Leo Fioravanti will be back in action at the upcoming Quicksilver Pro France. After blowing out his shoulder during a free surf session at Margaret River, the 21-year-old Italian has been spotted recently surfing on a soft top, but also at a Gucci fashion show in Milan. This will be Leo's 5th appearance competing in OCCY, and he'll be going up against Jordy Smith and Sebastian Zietz in the seeding round. For a full draw, you can go to worldsurfleague.com or check out the free WSL app. As we reported earlier this month, Floridian surfer Nate Bell recently signed with Volcom and has been on an absolute tear ever since. After scoring Hurricane Dorian in Florida, Nate bolted to Indonesia for a late season swell at Desert Point. We're liking what we're seeing, Nate. Keep the roll going. Today, the youth of the world have taken to the streets in what's become the largest global climate strike in history. These strikes, of course, bookend the UN Global Climate Summit and are a great positive way for the youth of the world to speak their voice. Well, it's been pumping all week long at the EDP Billabong Pro Ericeira, and Yago Dora is the last championship tour surfer standing after a field of 17 CTers went in and went out. Joan Duru had a chance to surf but couldn't after being slammed into the reef during a free surf session. The Frenchman was hospitalized with cuts and bruises but is expected to return for the Quick Pro France. Heal up, Joan. Up this thing up on Sunday. So fingers crossed for a great final. Well, it's Climate Week, so that gives us the chance to head over to Dr. AYANA Elizabeth Johnson for an update.
Ocean temperatures are extremely warm around much of Hawaii right now, and that may worsen the coral bleaching that we've already seen in a lot of areas. To help track coral bleaching in Hawaii, experts at NOAA, DAR, and ASU have launched hawaiicoral.org. Anyone who goes in the water can then go to the website and report any coral bleaching they see. This will help experts directly track changes and have a better chance of saving Hawaii's coral reefs. For more information on what you can do to minimize your impact on coral reefs, go to hawaiicoral.org.
As we reported earlier this month, Floridian surfer Nate Bell recently signed with Volcom and has been on an absolute tear ever since. After scoring Hurricane Dorian in Florida, Nate bolted to Indonesia for a late season swell at Desert Point. We're liking what we're seeing, Nate. Keep the roll going. Craig Anderson is one of the most stylish surfers out there. Part of the secret to his success is his appreciation for different board designs and his relationship with shaper Hayden Cox. In the latest edition of Surfer Magazine Quiver series, ANDO breaks down how his style is informed by the diversity of the boards in his quiver. Head over to Surfer's YouTube page to watch the full edit. It's about to be finals day at the EDP Billabong Pro Ericeira, and there's only 4 surfers left in the draw. We will be crowning an event winner on Sunday. But the most talked about heat of the weekend, no doubt, has to be the Heritage Heat featuring Taj Burrow and Tiago Perez. Aussie legend Burrow will take on Perez, aka the Prince of Portugal, in a battle that both are trying to play down. You can tune in to all the action tomorrow on worldsurfleague.com or on the WSL app. The So Sri Lanka Pro is an attractive QS event to many surfers around the world, mostly because of the beauty of this region. One surfer in particular is 1999 world champ Mark Arcalupo, who put on a jersey for his first QS in 6 years. Don't call it a comeback. We know Aki's been absolutely ripping during his retirement. So when Aki puts on the jersey, QSers, beware. Almost forgot. Happy birthday, Pat O'Connell. Love you, buddy. 48 years old today. You're still ripping like an 18-year-old grommet. Have a wonderful birthday. See you at the office on Monday.